Hi, it's Adventure Nerd, and I'm going to talk in this video. I'm going to talk about I'll talk about how to talk about the three things that will shock you when you visit France. The first thing that will shock you when you visit France. Number one, coffee sizes are small and overpriced. I'll give you an example of this. If you stay in as an example, I was in France. I was in Bayeux, and and which is close to the D-Day beaches. And basically, I was there. I bought a coffee, and it was €1.50. You know how much and that coffee, €1.50 was basically that coffee, that €1.50 coffee was just basically a sip of coffee. So I paid €1.50 for a sip of coffee. Think about that. €1.50 to get you a small to medium-sized coffee at the U.S. or Canada. You know, so the coffee here, they offer small coffees sizes for such high prices. It's like very small, like this. That's like basically like this is what you get for €1.50. Like it's really expensive. It's very expensive. They offer usually such high prices for such small coffee. And that's unfortunately what I noticed in France. When I noticed in France, that shocked me in France. You know. Number two, the second thing that shocked me is that if you go out. Second shocked me was when I went to. Second thing that shocked me was if you go to outside of France, there are some places that are tourist attractions where the lineup for the women's washroom is huge. It's huge, and so women will sometimes go to the men's washroom. So this will shock me as a man, and it might shock you as a man as well, because in the West, there's a separate wash for women and a separate wash for men. And it's frowned upon for a woman to go to a man's washroom. But in France, but the example that I will talk about is pretty much, it was normal. And so I'll give you an example of that. I was at Chambord. It's if you go to Chambord, it's a chateau called Chambord. Chambord. Okay. If you Google top attractions in France, Chambord is one of them, and you have to. It's one of them, and in that that chateau, I remember really well. I remember the lineup for the women's washroom. This was in the summer. The Chambord was. I was visiting all these places in France in the summer. So it was in Chambord. I was visiting. I remember Chambord. I was in Chambord. I remember the females' washroom was huge. There wasn't a lineup for the men's washroom, but there was a lineup for the females' washroom. So I just went to the men's washroom, doing my business. When I did my business, I was going to go to the sink to wash my hands, and before I went to the sink, I suddenly saw a woman come out of the stall. And I was like, ah. And the man was about to go in the stall, and they were like, they were talking in French, and they were like laughing it out. The man wasn't shocked at all, but I was like shocked. I'm like, why is a woman in a men's washroom? It's like, it's weird. But yeah, it was normal. Like the French man thought, and the French woman, they laughed it out like it was normal, and it was okay. So that's number one. That was number two. So basically, number two, women will, in some cases, some places where the lineup for the women's washroom will be huge, and therefore there'll be cases where women will go to the men's washroom. So that's number two. Number three. The third one that was shocking. It kind of relates to number two, relates to washrooms, but number three is this. If you go outside of France, there are places where there's only one washroom. And in that washroom, there's multiple stalls, some stalls for men, some stalls for women. So basically, there's some places will have one washroom, and men and women will use that washroom together. So women will hear men's business, do their business, and vice versa. I'll give you an example of this. If you go to Clos Lucie, I think it's how you pronounce it. I can pronounce it. Maybe I know my pronunciation. Clos Lucie. That's my. I think that's how you pronounce it. But its spelling is this. Just Google it. CLOSLUCE. It's in a town. It is in a town called Amboise. AMBIOSE. Okay. Basically, that is basically Leonardo da Vinci's last home. That's Clos Lucie, Leonardo da Vinci's last home. In there, in that home, that place, there's also a park, the Leonardo da Vinci's park. And in that park, I remember there was a sandwich shop. And the guy still selling sandwiches, and he was selling also French fries. Beside the sandwich shop, there was a washroom. The washroom had no door. And I remember the lineup was huge for the women's wall. There was a huge lineup for there was a washroom beside the sandwich shop. And in that washroom, there was multiple stalls. Some stalls for men, some stalls for women. And the lineup for the female stalls was huge, just like in Chambord. And there was there was hardly a lineup for men's stalls. And in that washroom, it also had urinals. So women would line up. The women who lined up in the female washroom would see the men, do their business in the urinal. So it was a bit awkward. It's a bit awkward, I'll tell you that. But yeah, that's another example of that. So, and I'll give you another example. If you go to Omaha Beach, the Omaha Beach where there's a statue. There was a statue. I forgot the name. I think a grayish. I think it was a grayish. It was a grayish statue, and it was a gray statue. I remember it was in Omaha Beach, and beside it was a restaurant. I don't know the name of the gray statue, but beside it was a restaurant, and in that restaurant there was only one washroom. In that one washroom, there was one stall for men, one stall for women. I was waiting for the male stall. The woman comes out of the female stall, and she looked at me very awkward and embarrassed. And I was telling my mind, I was like, yeah, I don't blame her because it's weird for both of us to be in the same washroom. See, in the Western countries, you would have a separate wash for men, separate wash for women. But in some places outside of France, there's only one washroom, and men and women will be sharing that single washroom. So there'll be one washroom where men and women will use it together. And so, it's some places. So, I hope you like this video. Please like, comment, share this video. I'll make more videos about France. I have a lot more list of videos I like to make about France. Also watch my Chinese videos and watch other videos I have on my channel. So please subscribe, like, share this video with others, and I hope and I like to hear you and write a comment below about the 3 things that shock you when you visited France. I want to hear them. I want to read them and read them, and I'm excited to read them. So I hope you like this. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye for now.